The law of being in charge. Welcome. Thank you for your time in highlighting the law of being in charge. This principle states that we are all in charge of how we present ourselves, in charge of the full expression of our emotions, needs, and desires, and in charge of how we spend our time and with whom we spend it with. This law is not just a metaphor. It's a fundamental principle that applies to everyone. As human beings, we have the power to shape our reality through our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. The law of being in charge reminds us that we are responsible for creating the life we want. We are not victims of circumstance. We are the creators of our reality. This principle is not about being in control of everything that happens to us. It's about being in charge of our thoughts, beliefs, actions, which in turn shapes our reality. It's about taking responsibility for our lives and making conscious choices that align with our values and goals. Many of us live our lives on autopilot, going through the motions and not taking charge of our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. But when we start to take charge, we can start to create the life we truly want. Today we'll delve deeper into the law of being in charge and provide practical suggestions and techniques to help you take charge of your thoughts, beliefs, and actions and create the life you truly desire. Let's get started. What is the law of being in charge? The law of being in charge is a powerful concept that encapsulates the idea of taking ownership of our lives. It's a reminder to recognize that we are in control of our lives and how we choose to shape them. We have the power to set clear priorities, determine our best use of our resources, and pursue what makes us truly happy. Taking charge means having the courage to move forward, even in the face of failure or doubt, and having compassion for ourselves along the way. Through embracing this law, we can become more confident, create stronger relationships with others, and live more meaningful, productive lives. When we talk about the law of being in charge, there is a deeper sense of responsibility that comes with it. It ensures that we have control over how we lead our lives, from our careers to our relationships. Being in charge means having the power to make decisions on how we want to express and direct ourselves as individuals. It also means being mindful of how we use our energy and time and towards whom it will be spent. When you practice the law of being in charge, you become acutely aware of your capabilities and desires, allowing you to start living a life that truly reflects who you are and what you value. The law of being in charge is a powerful concept that empowers us to take control of our lives and make the most of our time here on earth. It means that we have the ultimate responsibility for how we express ourselves and what we do with our time each day. We have sovereignty over our own decisions, thoughts, and actions. So it's important that we are in charge of our inner space, how we handle challenges, overcome obstacles, and use our gifts to make a difference. Taking charge also involves tuning into ourselves, being honest about our needs and desires, and then setting boundaries around those things. That's when true self-mastery starts to happen and real growth can occur, leading us to a more fulfilled life, shaping our lives. The law is based on the idea that we are all creators of our own reality. We have the power to shape our lives and experiences through our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. And by understanding and embracing the law of being in charge, we could take control of our lives and create the reality we want. One way to start applying this law is by becoming aware of our thoughts and beliefs. We often have negative thoughts and limiting beliefs that hold us back from achieving our goals and living the life we desire. By becoming more aware of these thoughts and challenging them, we can start to shift our mindset and create a more positive reality. Another way to apply the law is by taking action towards our goals and desires. We can't just sit back and wait for things to happen. We need to take action and make them happen. By being proactive and taking action towards our goals, we can create the reality we want. We are in charge of how we spend our time and whom we spend it with. The people we surround ourselves with has a huge impact on our lives. So it's important to surround ourselves with positive, supportive people who will help us achieve our goals. The law of being in charge is a powerful principle that can help us take control of our lives and create the life we desire. By becoming more aware of our thoughts, taking action towards our goals, and surrounding ourselves with positive people, we can start to apply this law and create the life we want. Thoughts and beliefs. Becoming more aware of our thoughts and beliefs is a crucial step in applying the law of being in charge. Our thoughts and beliefs shape the way we see the world and ourselves, and they have a direct impact on the reality we create. One way we could become aware of our thoughts is through mindfulness practices such as meditation. Meditation helps us focus on the present moment and become more aware of our thoughts as they arise. It also helps to reduce stress and anxiety, which can often lead to negative thoughts. Another way to become more aware of our thoughts is by keeping a journal. Writing down our thoughts and feelings can help us to understand and process them better. It also allows us to look back and see patterns in our thinking. It's also important to be aware of our limiting beliefs, as they can hold us back from achieving our goals and living the life we desire. Limiting beliefs are often rooted in past experiences and can be difficult to identify. However, once we become aware of them, we can challenge and change them. One way to challenge limiting beliefs is to question them. Ask yourself, is this belief really true? Is there any evidence to support it? Another way is to reframe the belief in a more positive way. For example, instead of thinking, I am not good enough, reframe it as, I'm capable and have the potential to be successful. Becoming more aware of your thoughts and beliefs is an essential step in applying the law of being in charge. By practicing mindfulness, journaling, and changing limiting beliefs, we can start to shift our mindset and create a more positive reality. Taking action. Taking action towards our goals and desires is a critical step in applying the law of being in charge. It's important to understand that we can't just sit back and wait for things to happen. We need to take action and make them happen. By being proactive, we can create the reality we want. The first step in taking action is to set clear and specific goals. Without a clear direction, it's easy to get overwhelmed and not know where to start. Setting clear and specific goals gives us a roadmap to follow and helps us to stay focused on what we want to achieve. Once we have set goals, we need to make a plan of action. Break down your goals into smaller, manageable tasks and set deadlines for yourself. This will help you stay on track and make progress towards your goals. It's also important to take action even when you're not feeling motivated. Sometimes you're going to face obstacles and setbacks. It's important to keep pushing through and not give up. In addition, taking action also means to seek help and support when needed. We don't have to do everything alone, and asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Whether it's a mentor, a coach, or a supportive friend, having someone to guide and support us can make a huge difference. Taking action towards our goals and desires is a critical step in applying the law of being in charge. By setting clear and specific goals, making a plan of action, taking action even when we're not feeling motivated, and seeking help and support when needed, we can create the reality we want. Spending our time. Being in charge of how we spend our time and with whom we spend it is an important aspect of the law of being in charge. The people we surround ourselves with have a significant impact on our lives, and it is essential to surround ourselves with positive and supportive people who will help us to achieve our goals. One way to do this is by being selective about the people we spend our time with. We don't have to spend time with everyone and anyone. We can choose to spend time with people who uplift and support us. This could be friends, family, or colleagues who share similar values and goals. It's important to communicate our needs and desires and not be afraid to say no when necessary. This can help us to maintain a healthy balance and prevent us from being pulled into too many different directions. It's also important to spend time on activities that are meaningful and fulfilling to us. This could be a hobby, a volunteering opportunity, or a side project. By focusing on activities that align with our values and interests, we can feel more fulfilled and satisfied with ourselves. In addition, it's important to be mindful of how we spend our time. We can easily get caught up in distractions and lose track of time. By being mindful and intentional with our time, we can make the most of it and achieve our goals. Being in charge of how we spend our time and with whom we spend it is an important aspect of the Lord being in charge. By being selective about the people we spend our time with, setting boundaries, spending time on activities that align with our values and interests, and being mindful of how we spend our time can create a more positive and fulfilling reality. The Lord being in charge is a powerful principle that reminds us that we are the creators of our reality. It reminds us that we are in charge of how we present ourselves, in charge of the full expression of our emotions, needs, and desires, and in charge of how we spend our time and with whom we spend it. By understanding and applying this principle, we can take charge of our thoughts, beliefs, and actions and create the life we truly desire. The key to applying the law of being in charge is to take action towards our goals and desires. This means setting clear and specific goals, making a plan of action, taking action when we're not feeling motivated, and seeking help and support when needed. It also means being mindful of how we spend our time and surrounding ourselves with positive and supportive people who will help us achieve our goals. And another important aspect of the law is to become more aware of our thoughts and beliefs, and to challenge any negative or limiting beliefs that may be holding us back. By becoming more aware of our thoughts and beliefs, we can start to shift them to align with our values and goals. The Lord being in charge is not just a metaphor. It's a great fundamental principle that applies to everyone. By understanding and applying this principle, we could take charge of our lives and create the reality we truly desire. Thank you for your time with us in highlighting the law of being in charge. I hope you found it helpful and informative. Remember, you are in charge of your life. Take action and make it happen. I'm Leroy Glover, and I thank you.